Wayne Brownson.
Here.
Robert Crabtree.
Here.
Christopher Hockey.
Here.
Luke Moranis.
Here.
Lisa O'Reilly.
Lisa.
You're on mute, Lisa, but we do see you.
David Pachakowski.
Sorry.
Margaret Perry.
She's going to be absent. She has a board meeting in Cincinnati.
Margaret Perry absent. Joan Reeves. Here. Miriam Wasman.
Saw her
I
name
saw
there.
her on earlier, but I don't see her now.
Miriam?
I'm also looking at the names listed here, and she's not listed as signed in at the moment, so she'll probably be rejoining. Maybe she had an issue.
We'll mark her absent for now, and we'll add her as when she attends. Jody Weissing.
Here.
Ann Wright.
Here.
Okay, if we could please stand for the pledge led by County Vigiano.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could now have each of the cabinet members just take a moment to introduce yourselves to the board.
and your title, please. Chris?
Start with Chris.
Chris Savovio, Assistant Superintendent for Instructional Support Services.
Sorry, John.
Take on as Executive Director of Facilities.
Doreen Bergman, Director of Education.
Rick Pollard, Assistant Director at the Regional Information Center.
Anna Sparrow, the Director.
Dominic D'Imperio, Director of Labor Relations.
Overall, Director of CTE at Innovative Ed.
Rosanna Kern, Director of Special Education. Mari Playa, Director of Adult Education.
Thank you. I will move on to agenda item number 1, oath to the new board of Education members. If Chris Hockey, Lisa O'Reilly, and Joan Reeves could please stand. Lisa, I believe a statement was provided to you via email. And if you could please read your oath of office out loud.
We can harmonize, right?
That would be great.
Okay, let's go. Okay, I, Joan Reeves, who resides in Onondaga County, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee of the Onondaga Cortland Madison BOCES Board of Education for the term of July 1, 2020 to June 30, 2023, according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Mr. Hockey.
I, Christopher Hockey, who resides in Onondaga County, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee of the Onondaga Cortland Madison BOCES Board of Education for the term of July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2023, according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Mr. Riley.
I, Lisa O'Reilly, who resides in Onondaga County, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee of Onondaga Cortland Madison BOCES Board of Education for the term of July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2023, according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Congratulations.
We all have a plan for a mental exam.
Yeah. I will move on to agenda item number 2, appointment of temporary chairperson. Do we have a motion for a temporary chairperson? Motion for me from Ann Wright. Second?
Second by Crabtree.
Second by Bob Crabtree. I have a motion. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Abstentions? Motion carries. I'm now moving on to agenda item number 3, appointment of clerk of the board. Do I have a motion for clerk of the board?
We motion to appoint Teresa Smith.
Motion to appoint.
Lisa
Second.
O'Reilly seconds.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Abstentions? Motion carries. Now moving on to agenda item number 4, appointment of deputy clerk of the board. I have a motion.
Make a motion to appoint Joe Cavano as deputy clerk.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? Abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 5, President of the Board. Do I have a motion for a nomination for President?
I'd like to nominate Ann Wright for President of the OCM School Board.
I'll
Motion.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Thanks, Anne.
Do I have, I'm moving on to agenda item number 6. Do I have a motion for a nomination for Vice President of the Board?
I'll nominate Wayne Brownson.
Second.
Do I have a motion to close the nominations?
I'll make that motion.
Lisa? And I have a second from Ann Wright. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Congratulations, Wayne.
I would like to go back to agenda item number 5 and make sure that we have a motion to close the nominations.
Don't ask me.
Okay. Do we have a motion to close the nominations?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Lisa, seconded by Joan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? Abstentions? Thank you. Hey, if I could please have the president and vice president, please stand. And you have been provided with oaths that I will provide to you. I will put on my mask before I do that.
I, Venner Ann Wright, who reside in Onondaga County, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of President of the Onondaga Courtland Madison BOCES Board of Education 2020 to 2021, according to the best of my ability.
I, Wayne Brownson, who resides in Onondaga County, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Vice President of the Onondaga Courtland Madison BOCES Board of Education 2020 through 2021, according to the best of my ability.
Okay, we'll now turn this over to the president of the board.
Thank you very much. Lots to talk about tonight, so be ready. There needs to be an appointment of the audit committee for 2020-2021 with Bob Crabtree as chairman, Margaret Perry, and Miriam Wasman. I have a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
What's your abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you very much. And congratulations to those people. Bob is the new chairman. And he'll continue what he's been doing. He's been very involved in seeing that it's moved along with Miriam and Peg. Number 9 is appointment of officers. There's treasurer, deputy treasurer, extra classroom activity funds, central treasurer, claims auditor for 8/1/20 to 7/31/21, deputy claims auditor, claims auditors, NISMAC, deputy claims auditors for NISMAC, and data protection officer. I need a motion to approve all of these.
So
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
What's your abstentions? Motion carries. We move on to number 10. Number 10 is other appointments. There's 2 pages. It's investment officer, deputy investment officer, Central New York Health Insurance Cooperative Board of Directors, OCM Workers' Compensation Consortium Board of Directors, NISMAC Fiscal Officer, Deputy NISMAC Fiscal Officer, Healthcare Professional, State School Board's delegate. Should we put your name down here, Bill?
Anybody goes to that convention, they gotta be nice.
It's
That's
in New
all I'm
York
trying to
City,
say.
right? It's in New York City, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it
I would
is. I
just say
think there's,
TBD for now.
Yes, we can.
yeah,
Thank you.
I really, because I think that they're trying to find out if people would attend if it was virtual, because it's their biggest moneymaker,
Oh, yes, it is a visit.
you know, so it's like, yeah.
Uh-huh. Maybe it'll be virtual. You can vote that way.
No comment.
Okay, we'll talk later.
Yes, we'll talk later.
Title IX and Section 504 compliance officers. H is record access and records management officer. HIPAA compliance officer, Medicaid compliance officer, asbestos designee, integrated pest management coordinator, extra classroom activity funds, faculty auditor, independent auditor for all funds, including extra classroom activity funds, architectural and engineering services, with a resolution that follows. That's not to be voted on. P is school attendance officer. Q is 403B liaison. R is Dignity Act coordinators. S is internal auditor, and T is appointment of school attorney with a resolution following that we don't have to vote on separately. U is appointment of staff on an interim basis. Now, would you like to comment on any of those or ask any questions on any of those? If not, could I have a motion to accept 10A through U?
So moved.
Thanks, Dave
Second.
and Wayne. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed or abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you very much. We move on to number 11, which is designations of official bank depository, regular meeting, monthly meetings, and official newspaper. Any questions on those three? Could I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Motion carries. Able to keep up with this? Okay, thank you. Number 12, authorizations. And this one is also long. Number 12 will go A through beginning of the next page. First one is certifier of payrolls, deputy certifier of payrolls, purchasing agent, deputy purchasing agents, attendance at workshops, conferences, conventions, etc. Chief school officer authorized to approve budget transfers, extra classroom funds, Skills USA Club, Thompson Road Campus, Henry CTE, Skills USA Club, Cortlandville Campus, McAvoy CTE, National Campus, Henry Center, Criminal Justice, Thompson Road Campus, Henry CTE, all school activities at Watson Street, Cortland Alternative School, FFA Club, Cortlandville Campus, McAvoy Club, Cortlandville Campus, Student Foundation Tech. Move on, which is authorization to require medical evaluation. There's a resolution that goes along with this list. G is acceptance of gifts. Need a resolution, and I will need a motion to accept 12A through G.
A question,
Yes,
a
Dave.
question on E, extracurricular or extra classroom. Honor Society, they need one, or do they have one for Cortland as well?
Yes, they do.
This identifies it as Thompson Road only?
Let's see, I think it says McAvoy. Let me see, Skills USA, Thompson Road, Henry CTE, Skills USA, Cortlandville, McAvoy CTE. It should list it both. So it should also say the McAvoy CTE above it doesn't count towards it because it counts towards the Skills USA. So we should add to that the Cortland National Technical Honor Society as well.
Questions? If not, with that change, could we have someone move to accept number 12A through G?
So
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Thank you, motion carries. We'll move on to H, which is by itself. It's an authorization of wire transfers, and there is a resolution there. Are there any questions on this? If not, do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions?
Marion's not here.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
add 10 minutes.
Thank you. So that motion carries. 13. Funding of personnel. Is there any questions on this about the bonding?
Was it all OC personnel or? Yeah, something
says all
looks
personnel.
different. Like we bond.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Senators or
Chris
whatever.
Todd, do you know that?
We can't hear anything because not everybody's muted, so half of what you guys are saying, I can't hear.
Because that's why I wondered why they weren't for, making motions. They can't.
Mike, can you mute everybody? Mike Mauricio?
I was wondering why they weren't making motions.
If you like, you were good in the beginning, but it's been a little bad. If you want to repeat it, maybe I can answer the question, and I'll try and put my headphones in just to see if that's better.
The question on bonding, it says it's a blanket bond for all personnel, including treasurer and claims auditor. The question I guess I had, is it all BOCES employees, or do we have a specific list of those that either, I don't know, handle money or accounting office or whatever?
Right. Chris, I'm not sure if you could hear that.
I could hear it. That's the first time I've heard all BOCES employees instead of it just being specified. So I don't have an answer for you.
Chris, the way it reads, and I don't know if you can see it, it says, I agree, it seems odd that it says all personnel. It says blanket bond, all personnel, but then below it, it says including treasurer and claims auditor. And it's like says $5 million. So we can follow up and get back to you.
I think, if I remember
I'm
right,
expecting at specific
there's
positions.
the accounting department list of people who either are doing checks or doing approvals,
That
accounts
would make
payable,
sense.
whatever.
So we'll follow
it's the
up.
same as last year's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same exact thing as last year's.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I did.
email the board and let you know
Okay.
afterwards.
So shall we put this aside or shall we go on and vote?
We approved it last year the same way. Is that what you said, Joan?
Yeah, it's the exact
So it's the
same thing.
pleasure of the board.
We can approve it and then amend it if we find out differently at the next meeting. At least this way everybody's covered.
So could I have a motion to accept number 13, which is bonding of personnel?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? I see Lisa's hand up. Thank you. Motion carries. We'll move on to number 14, which is other items. It's designation of the main campus building, second floor, as the area for posting of all official notices for Onondaga, Cortland, and BOCES. Number B is approval of all policies, including those revised and acted upon during the 2019-2020 year, which shall be in effect for 2020-2021. C is authorization for membership in the National School Boards Association for 2020-2021. Authorization, what did I do with that piece of paper? Authorization for membership in the New York State School Boards Association Central New York School Boards Association, Onondaga Madison School Boards Association, Cortland Madison School Boards Association, Statewide School Finance Consortium, BOCES Educational Consortium, and the Rural Schools Association for 2020-2021. Move on to E, authorization for membership in the Association of Educational Service Agencies for 2020 and 2021. Approval of the 2020-2021 board committee assignments, which were attached. School library system council members for 2020-2021 is also attached. Adoption of textbook update for 2020-2021, which the list is attached. Approval of 2021 subrates, and there's a list in your agenda. Approval of part-time and job 2 pay rate schedule, which is attached. K is approval of bank accounts, multi-fund at JP Morgan Chase, general fund at JP Morgan Chase, special aid at JP Morgan Chase, trust agency at JP Morgan Chase, trust agency at JP Morgan Chase, extra classroom at JP Morgan Chase, multi-fund general special aid at M&T Bank, general fund at M&T Bank, capital fund at M&T Bank, extra classroom at M&T Bank. And number L is claims settlements, and there's a resolution. Any questions on any of those in number 14?
This is Jody. I have a question with one of the pay rates. I'm just wondering, the TAs, it looks like they're currently at $12.50, which is above minimum. When minimum goes to $12.50, is that going to be bumped up?
So Jody, we'll be adjusting those as we move forward as the minimum wage increases.
Okay. The other ones where you could see where it said it was going to bump up at the first of the year or whatever, but I was just wondering if that one was going to.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? Not, could I have a motion to accept 14A through L?
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstention? Motion carries. We also have number M, which is approval of the code of ethics for all BOCES personnel policy. I need a motion, but are there any questions first? Motion to accept?
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Motion carries. Number N, which is also by itself, is approval of the 2020-2021 Onondaga Cortland Madison BOCES credit card holders, which is attached. Are there any questions to that?
It was changed from the original that for the school library to be determined and the
Yeah.
fingerprinting.
We noted that in the
Okay.
document, yep. And when we sent out the revised agenda today.
Any other questions? If not, could I have a motion to accept number N?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstention? Motion carries. We move on to number O, which is the adoption of asset class threshold amounts, which are attached. Any questions? If not, could I have a motion to accept?
So
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Motion carries. We move on to P, which is approval of Affordable Care Act designations, which are attached. Any questions? If not, could I have a motion to accept?
So
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Motion carries. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our organization meeting for 2020-2021. Thank you very much. We will move on to our organization meeting, but I thought I'd give you a quick break. Maybe you'd like to go up and down the halls.
Keep it going.
Anybody can leave if they want to.
Keep it going.
Bob wants to go home. We're now into our regular July Board of Education meeting. We will be doing routine business first, which is minutes of July 18th, 2020 regular Board of Education meeting. Any additions or corrections? Not, could I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstention? Motion carries. We will do budget status report, revenue status report, treasurer's report, and claims auditor's report together. That's number 2 through 4. Any questions on any of those? If not, could I have a motion to accept number 2, 3, 4, and 5 in routine business? Second? Get who made the motion? Did the person that made the motion say it again?
Don't move.
Right. And we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Motion carries. Number 6 and 7 are for information only. We move on to the president's report. One of the things that I'd like to mention is the wonderful graduation ceremonies. If you haven't seen them on your computer, take the time within the next week or two, because the staff and the students took a lot of time going through those so that everybody would have their day in the sun for graduation. And I think it was an excellent, excellent job. So thank you very much. And I'd also like to thank our component superintendents who have been meeting throughout this difficult period to try to come up with things that will be able to serve our students when they're back in school. I'm sure it's a thankless kind of meeting because things that they may decide that they want to do, they won't be allowed to, but at least they are making the effort for all of our students. And I think it's to be commended. Doesn't always happen that way for kids. So I'd like to thank them. Now, I'd also like some committee reports here. Joan has the board assessment committee. Would you like to say a couple of words
It's
about
been sent out. There's a deadline on it, so we'll see if everybody fills it out, which is rarely taken. So we would like to have it, or we'll have it all compiled by the next board meeting in August.
You might tell me who they are because I'll make a little arm twisting.
Well, I figure if I can't strong arm, it might be a little harder for you to do it.
Not always. Been doing it for a long time. So, but do let me know. And, and that's a very important report. So everybody should complete it as quickly as they can.
I have a concern because I've started it. And the first section deals with district superintendent. And we do not have a district superintendent. We have an interim superintendent and we have a deputy superintendent. I'm unable to answer those questions.
I just put NA.
Okay, but I just want to tell the rest of the board.
Anything like pertaining to the superintendent, I just put NA.
Thank you.
And then I wrote something in the comments, but yeah, I was unable to answer the first part.
That's okay.
Okay.
Now, the audit committee did a final assessment with their new audit clerk. Marion, would you like to make a report on that?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Yes, we met via Zoom with Karen and it went very well and we're all very happy. And she took the comments, which were really very positive, very well. She knows she needs a little brush up with a little more practice with technology, but she was very positive. We were very positive and it was great.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for doing that.
Question.
Yes.
Is there any training that we can provide for her for that position? I know we don't.
I
You know,
think,
we don't necessarily want to send her out to do it because many times they just have an open book as to here's what a audit clerk should be doing, but I don't know if there's anything she needs in the way of support.
Well, she's done this job before.
to be honest about it, I think that the rest of the staff would have spoken up if they did see something, or there was a program that maybe she could partake in, but she got a lot of training in the last 2 months, basically in technology by fire. So there wasn't any mention of that, but it's a good point, and I'm sure they would bring it up if they thought there was something that she needed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Luke, do you have anything to say about facilities?
We're moving forward with our RFP for architectural services. Slowed down the timeline just a little bit to make sure we got everything tweaked the way we wanted, but those should be out the door in August, and we'll be reviewing the proposals and then having interviews during the fall.
Any questions of Luke?
A question on how does the RFP dovetail to the capital project for 2021?
Well, that's one thing. That's one thing we're trying to consider is who would want to be attached to that project and what those projects might look like.
Any other questions? If not, we will move on to the district superintendent's report. Would you like to say a few words, Chris?
I'll be very brief. I appreciate the Zoom. I had a personal day today. My wife had outpatient procedure, so it was nice for me to be able to Zoom, so I appreciate it. We are seeing things moving along with reporting for school reopening. Monday, we're going to get some guidance. By the end of the month, we'll have to produce something to SED, and then we'll know by the first week in August whether those reports are approved or not. I do want to commend the administration. We pulled together about 135, I'm guessing at the number, administrators throughout the region to have conversations about modeling, and I believe it was very successful. Really, your administrators deserve a lot of credit for taking care of that. That's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions, Chris?
Anything on the new commissioner?
Rumor has it, right? Maybe Monday or Tuesday, but we don't know for sure yet. Every time we hear something out of Albany, 48 hours later, it's probably not true. So I don't want to say that. I think it's going to be Monday or Tuesday. Thank you.
But it's underway. That's good.
Thank you very much. Administrators reports, are there any? If not, we'll move on to old business. Do we have any of that? We move on to new business personnel. Now, there is a supplemental agenda that you should look at that is part of personnel. I'd like you to know that there are 2 people who are retiring. One is Carl Wessing, who works in maintenance, and the other is David Durling, who worked for the RIC. Both of them we wish well. We hope that they enjoyed their retirement because I'm sure that they've earned it. They've worked very hard jobs. And I'd like you to know that in both of the regular agenda and the supplemental agenda, there are some tenure reviews. So I'd like you to look them over. Do you have anything to add, Joe?
I do not.
Okay.
When did summer school start?
It started.
Started already?
Yes, yeah.
1st of July?
Yeah, first day,
Usually
July
starts
1st was
after
the
the
first day
4th,
for staff. And Monday was the first day for extended school year. And Wednesday was the first day for regional summer school. We're off to a great start.
So my question deals with personnel, dealing with summer school is, it seems to be fewer, and I'm thinking there's fewer students, And it's centrally located here, am I correct?
It's all virtual summer
Right.
school. And so therefore you don't need the number
Okay.
of staff because, for example, in our extended school year program for special ed, you don't need all the one-to-one teaching assistants to help with behavioral supports and such because it's all being done remotely. Yeah.
Usually this is,
Yes.
Joe knows this is long, so. I just want to say on our new appointment to Philip Grome as Assistant Superintendent of Administration, welcome to that position. And we know that you will continue as you did in your former positions here at BOCES. We're really happy that you're going to have this job.
Any other comments?
One other question, with summer school, where we always had interim principals or whatever, did that opportunity go away this year?
We had interns, we still allow the opportunity for interns in regional summer school, and the differences are not getting paid this year. Because there's really not there's not the level of work, but we still want them to have the opportunity to complete their internship, so they were grateful for that.
And again,
Yeah.
it's an opportunity to just kind of seem to disappear if you don't have buildings that they gotta go to.
There is a lot of work
Oh,
to
sure.
support remote instruction. I think
Probably
people
more.
don't always recognize all that goes into that. It's a different kind of work. So I still think they do gain a lot, but we just thought we wanted them to still have the opportunity, but we didn't think it was appropriate for us to be providing funding for that, and they understood it.
Good. Any other comments about personnel?
No, I haven't.
Okay. If not, could I have a motion to accept?
I make a motion to accept.
Second. Personnel. Okay, second. Joan?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
With abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you very much. We move on to new business. Number 1 and 2 are for information only. Number 3 is an energy performance contractor that we are hiring. Would anybody have any questions about this? Because we'll have Luke answer. It's an easy answer. Those guys did such a good presentation that you could have picked any of them and it
Yep.
would have been wonderful.
Yep, we had a nice conversation last time and we're looking forward to move forward with it.
I think we're all on the same page pretty much too.
Yep.
That's the controls.
Well, thank you very much. Could I have a motion to accept number 3?
So move, Luke.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstention? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Number 4 is annual financing for lease purchase installment purchases, which will go to Bank of America Public Capital Corporation. It makes me crazy. Any questions on this? If not, could I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstention? Motion carries. We'll take number 5 through 15. These are bids and approval of contract amendments with component BOCES and approval of declaration of listing equipment, books, vehicles as surplus. Any questions on any of these?
I had asked the question of Colleen. Most of the cafeteria stuff, food products and whatever, all only had one bidder. And I guess the thing is, there's not a lot of competition out there. So prices have kind of gone up. And choices that people now have are much more limited.
I think there's very little markup is the reason why people aren't bidding. So I had an extensive conversation with Sean Joyce, who's excellent. And so because of what school districts put out there, it's not something that if it's not purchased by the school districts, the vendor ends up stuck with it because restaurants and such aren't interested in buying a bunch of chicken patties and things of that nature. So that's the reason why there's only one bidder, Renzi.
Any other questions, comments? If not, could I have a motion to accept number 5 through 15?
So
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstention? Motion carries. We'll take number 16 and 17. These are technology bids, approvals for bids. Any questions? Could I have a motion to accept?
So second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstention? Motion carries. Capitalization, authorization of capital project at the McAvoy Educational Center, reconstruction with expected project control number 42-90-000-1-110-025 at a cost not to exceed $350,000. Any questions on that? If not, could I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second,
Second, Luke.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstention? Motion carries. Number 3, new business other. There are second readings of policies, and it runs number 1 through 17. Are there any questions on any of these or any comments that Lisa would like to make as the chairman? If not, could I
I
have?
guess maybe just a comment for Chris. I don't know what you know about our policy. We've gone through a 3-year policy review. BOCES votes twice on each policy before it becomes enacted. This is kind of the year-end wrap-up and the 3-year wrap-up. So you normally don't see anywhere near this number of policies.
So it's a lot of wrap up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you guys have been busy.
Mike Murphy was the chairman.
There you go.
They've done a great job.
Could I have a motion to accept
So
number
moved.
1 through 17? Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstention? Motion carries. We have number 18 through 26, which are 28, which are first readings of policies. Any questions on any of these? Any comments, Lisa?
Lisa had to sign off. Lisa's gone.
Oh, okay.
College orientation for her daughter.
Yeah. Could I have a motion to accept?
So
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstention? Motion carries. Number 29 is acceptance of donation of $58,035 from the trust of Timothy Clark for the Timothy Clark Scholarship Fund. The scholarship is given to adult education students meeting the specific criteria. Any comments or questions? I'd like to say thank you and congratulations to them again for supporting us so generously.
We will pass that along.
And from talking to the attorney that is in charge of that fund, he explained to me how many people apply for that. And so we're really honored to have that amount of money given to us to use for adult education.
Do we ever send a thank you note?
We do.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
because that's what our school district does.
Oh, yeah, no,
Okay, I just want to make
you,
sure.
you have to meet the attorney.
Okay,
He's
okay.
he's about 90.
Wow.
And he's,
God bless him.
Quite spry.
yes, he is. And he's still
God
doing his
bless him.
thing, let me tell you. Could I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll take 30 and 31 because they're both meal programs for our 2 areas. Any questions on these 2?
The question I would ask with the, I guess I call uncertainty of what the school year is going to bring and whatever, what strain does it put on the 2 districts as far as notification of us and whatever, because they may have to provide lunch or breakfast, they may not. depending
Well,
on
I
where the
think
class is at.
districts all around the region are dealing with that, right? So we're, in this case, we're just an extension of the district, really.
Yeah.
Because like Liverpool has multiple buildings, and so we're, in their minds, we're just another one of their buildings. So as things can, as we hopefully get some more information over the next as Chris said, between now and the first week in August, I think we'll all be making decisions collectively, our component districts as well as ourselves.
I guess my concern would have been September 1 starting date as such, or even the ending date. If there's issues, we're not locked into anything.
No.
This is a mutually beneficial agreement. So that
Absolutely.
we get it.
Yes.
Any other questions on number 30 and 31? If not, could I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Motion carries. Now, the next number of motions are all separate. Number 32 is the approval of office lease agreement between Boardman House and OCM BOCES effective July 1st. Any questions on that? Boardman House is in Ithaca, if you've forgotten.
It's where our EAP location is. One of them.
Could I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstention? Motion carries. 33 is approval of the 2020-2021 Onondaga, Cortland, Madison, BOCES Code of Conduct. Any questions on this? If not, a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? Motion carries. Number 34 is approval of the 2020-2021 Onondaga, Cortland, Madison, BOCES Organization Professional Learning Plan. Any questions on this? If not, could I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second,
Second, Luke.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Motion carries. Approval of 2020-2021 Onondaga, Cortland, Madison, BOCES Disaster Recovery Plan. Any questions? If not, could I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstention? Motion carries. Approval of Onondaga, Cortland, Madison, BOCES Cybersecurity Incident Response Plan. Any questions? Motion to accept?
So moved.
Using a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? All. Motion carries. Number 37, approval of agreement between OCM BOCES and RACR for the provision of mental health services to students with emotional disturbance. Any questions on this one? Could I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstention? Motion carries. Number 38, approval of agreement between Onondaga, Cortland, Madison, BOCES and Liberty Resources. Questions?
Do we use a lot of their counselors?
Oh, yes.
Uh-huh.
Quite a few, right?
Motion to accept?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We will now move to the board member roundtable.
That's the exciting part.
Any questions? Anything?
Question on summer school. What's the grading going to be like for summer school?
I'm gonna have Chris speak to that.
Yeah, so we provide a numerical grade for districts, but it's still an adjustment system for students. So basically it allows us to be flexible for whatever the district needs, especially given the COVID-19 situation. Each district provided grades to students.
Yeah, and again, being virtual versus being in person, you just wonder how you do it.
I got a few things I'd about, bless you. See, that's what she did that because I said that. I like to, and I don't know who, if it's Joe or whoever, we need a revision of the reorganization chart, especially with a
Yes.
new board member. I'm going through doing this, so within the next couple of weeks, maybe to update it. It'll be updated again, but that would be great. So let's talk about what Dave was talking about, food service. Wendy Swift is like the leader, but she not only, she does a lot for North Syracuse, but if you see what her group of people did, 600,000 meals, lunches and breakfasts were served just up to May because of the situation. She is phenomenal. She came to our board meeting on Monday and did an awesome presentation. I like to have her come maybe next year because we've had questions about food service and so forth. Because we were talking about programs. The program at Thompson Road, there's no money involved at all in any of our programs there at STAR or at Innovation Tech. They're part of a special plan, and she could talk about that plan, where there's no money involved at all. They get their lunches, they get their breakfasts, there's no money. We do it at 2 schools in North Syracuse. Unfortunately, we couldn't increase it this year because it deals with the poverty level and so forth. But she does a great presentation, and we're always looking for some presentations. And she is amazing, amazing lady, which we all need to meet. Graduations. I got to view them. I took a couple each day. Some were shorter, some are 20 minutes, 25, some are CTE, are a little bit longer. But I don't know who planned them all. Colleen, I know you have a team. They were amazing. Every one of those graduations was an amazing graduation for that type of kid, whether it was a special needs kid or it was somebody. And what I was amazed at is the number that showed up. I really honestly, we go to these things, Mike Murphy and I, we would check who would be there and who wouldn't be there. I was amazed at the number of people, the special needs kids that just love it. And they had it right outside here. In Cortland, they had a hurricane, I think, because you saw the flag going like this, but it was amazing. And you need, all you have to do is go into the website and hit the top, and they're all listed, to hear some of the speeches of the students. I guess I'm prejudiced because of North Syracuse, but the young lady that gave the speech in North Syracuse for STAR was crying the whole time, and you could tell she never expected to have this. And Dan Bowles watched it, superintendent. He had her as a student in kindergarten at Roxborough. He said, I never expected this to happen. She had so many family problems right when she was 5 years old. And to see our program develop these people and these young people, it just, I'm glad I'm part of BOCES. Ever since I've been here, I just, what you people do is amazing. Every one of you behind me and all the administrators. I did tell Mr. Martin he needs to practice his singing. You got to see that one, but they had the virtual, and he promised me he would practice up. Every one of them, some of them are longer, like I said, but if you get a chance, the special needs ones especially, Rosanna, thank you for everything you did. But they're amazing. I'm upset I couldn't be there personally, but the job that you did and all the speakers and all the kids that gave speeches, we're lucky. We really are lucky.
I have to piggyback on that for a second, because Phil and Rosanna did an absolutely unbelievable job along with our marketing department. And they all were there for like 8 days straight, doing all these different events, greeting students and the administrative teams as well, certainly. But Phil and Rosanna really led the work, and it resulted in very meaningful ceremonies for people. It really exceeded my expectations. So I just echoing your thanks.
Anything else for roundtable?
I guess it's a concern. We've gone through the whole process of remote learning and everything gets through. I'm concerned that we need an assessment now that it's done. What did they miss? Special needs kids, are they getting what they need And are we providing the services that we should be providing? I know money's an issue and whatever, but really have a concern, those kids that are in our alternative programs that don't want to be there, but when they're there, they thrive. What happened again, everybody feels good, we got through it, but did we really get through it? And what's it gonna mean 2021? And I don't know how we do
assessment's
that.
a part, I mean, that's what all our educators go to school for, right? They learn how to properly assess students. So that will absolutely be a very important piece that will occur across grade levels, across content areas. I mean, that's what they're trained to do in school is to assess students. And so there will be an absolute analysis of what students learned, what they need some extra help in, and that's all part of, and that's part of what teachers are trained to do. So that will definitely happen.
And I look at it from an individual teacher and whatever. I guess I'm looking at it from an organization and saying, my responsibility of being on the board is making sure that we're providing the services that we need and whatever. And I trust 110% that everybody's out there trying to do the best they can with what we have. But bottom line, did Johnny get what Johnny needed to be successful to get through this year? And if not, what do we have to do next year to make sure that he's brought up? That those kids that have those special concerns or emotional problems are getting it. Because if we just look at it and say, well, okay, we're gonna go back to school, but we don't know what's gonna happen.
Chris, I think Chris is gonna chime in. Chris?
Yeah, basically, like what we've done is we've never been here before. So the best part about never being someplace is actually being able to create something new on the back end. And so we have great professionals. You have amazing administration, and our job literally, Dave, is to figure out where did we go wrong and what did we do great. You know, I have seen children that have social anxiety that thrived through this situation like never before. And I also, like my own child, who actually probably needs to be in front of his math teacher, and he's a great math kid, but he needs to be with her. So it's actually not just generalized, it's individualized. It's going to take some time, but that's what teachers do. And I think for us to say when we would have a report on how we did and how we didn't do, I think it's going to be a continuum. I think what we're going to see is if anybody in this room thinks that we are going to go back to what we were before, exactly the way we were before, the way we assessed before, the way we taught before, the way we engaged before, I think everybody in this room would be delusional. And I think we're not delusional. We're really smart people and we give up our time. The reality of it is that we're going to constantly assess. And what I think what we'll be able to see is, yes, we want to share with the board, we want to share with the community, we want to share with the teachers, we want to share with the parents where we are and what we've done. But it's literally going to be a continuum. It won't be, can you give us a report? Because that would be a report in a moment of time during a time of still semi-crisis. But I guarantee that even I won't be here. So I'll make lots of guarantees. So I'll have Colleen do a ton of work on it. But the reality of it is that Dave, your question is great, but it's the question that we ask literally almost every day, weekly. So it'll be a continuum, but I think it's good to ask. I think it's good to say, where are we? How have we changed? And I know I'm going on a soapbox. If it looks the same, we didn't do the right thing. We didn't do the right thing. That's my
opinion. I totally agree with you. And my concern is taking it, I'm not going to say taking it away from the staff and the superintendents and the administrators and passing it to the board as the governing body that says, okay, we got to stand up for it with all the other boards out there, because it's the public that it's their kids that are not getting it. And you can say all you want. And if there's something that, okay, we missed, but it's gonna take extra money or extra concentration, then we should work to make that known so we can address it sooner than later. And I know it's gonna go on probably for years, not just months. But I just have that concern is it's our responsibility to make sure that it's working. And I don't like the politics and other things that are being played now to get it in place. So that's my soapbox. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can I just add something there? Back to the point about kids thriving. I mean, I just want to point out that as much as we do have to look at, what we missed, but I agree. There's a lot of kids that thrived in doing it this way. And I don't want to lose that either when they come back. And let's say, okay, what made them tick and how do we keep them ticking when they're back in the classroom? I mean, I noticed that in the workplace. We have some people that were so much better not in the workplace, kind of like the students. So I just want to, I don't want that missed either.
Good point, Marion.
Thank you. Any other comments for roundtable? If not, I'm going to adjourn the meeting to executive session, but I'd like to thank Phil, if he's still here. If you were graduating, you'd be moving your tassel from one side to the other. So I can move your seat from one side to another, and we're glad to have you. Now, if there's nothing else for open session, could I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss their employments of particular persons? So moved. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Do you want to take a break or do you want to keep
No,
going?
let's keep going.
Well,
It's not